This next section we're going to talk about pending orders. So a lot of the time, customers for convenience will like to place the order ahead of time. So they place an order today to be made 3 days from now. With that, there's a couple of things. So there's a prep time, as you already know. There's a prep time. So prep time is going to be somewhere, we usually do default for online orders around 25 minutes, but we tell all of our staff members 2 hours. So that way, if it's a bigger order, it doesn't catch us off guard. We have enough time to stretch the dough, make everything, and have it ready off to the side so that we can throw it in right before the time it's necessary. So with that, this next section is just going to show you how to divulge all of that information from the actual system. So as well, nobody else in this restaurant is going to have that information, have access to that information other than Gem 5. So it is your job, your responsibility to make sure every 30 minutes you check pending orders and you see the prep time, you see when the order is supposed to be there, you know all of that information, you know how large the order is, so we make sure we get that to the kitchen so they have enough time to make the food and make the food within the time constraint. As we stated before in this section, I'm just going to show you how to check the pending order screen and all of that information. So you have your code, you hit go, like I said, it'll take you to the last screen. So you just go back here, and then there's a little section right here called pending orders. So that's the section you need to check. It'll show all of the future checks as well. It'll show some checks that have yet to be approved. I'll show you how to navigate that screen in just a second. So like I said, you click pending orders and it'll have two sections right up here: needs approval and future checks. So needs approval right here are orders that for some reason have not been approved by Toast. So what you need to do is you need to get a hold of a manager or a lead, show them that there is a check in the needs approval section so that they can see if they need to approve it or not, and they will solve that problem for you. But the other section is the one that we're talking about, future checks right here. So you need to go over, you can see right here that we have 3 future checks right now for 3 orders. You can see right here that this is for November 26th at noon. It's gonna fire in 21 minutes. Today is November 26th. It's gonna fire in 21 minutes, but you can see it's a large order. It's 10:30 right now, right up here. But we wanna give the kitchen as much prep time as we possibly can to make this, since it looks about 10 pizzas. So that's a large order. The kitchen needs a lot of time to make that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see this right here. You can see down here, there's a button that says fire now. So what that's gonna do is that's gonna shoot that ticket to the back. Instead of waiting an extra 20 minutes, it's gonna shoot it to the back so they have extra time to make it. So what you do is you hit fire now, and then you go and tell the kitchen, hey, I just sent a ticket back to the back. It's due at noon, and it is going to be for 10 pizzas. I just wanted to give you guys some extra time so that you guys can make the order within the time constraint and have the order correctly to that customer. So this is the order that I was talking about.
Would you show it in the display kitchen? The display ticket?
So you can see right here as well, it's going to be right here under the 12 o'clock section. So as soon as it's fired back to the kitchen, it's going to go under the ticket display screen, and you can see all of the information right there. And you can see once again right up here, it's due at noon. So the last thing with this section, like I said, make absolutely sure every 30 minutes you are checking that screen, because we don't know what orders are going in the system. We don't know anything about any of the orders. No one has future sight, so we can't tell. So you need to check every 30 minutes. You need to check the needs approval screen, you need to check the future check screen, just to make sure we're not gonna miss any orders and that the restaurant is on top of everything as a team. So with that as well, like we said, Gem 5 is the only one with access to that information. They're the only one who's actively checking that. So it is in your job responsibility to check all of that. But as well, a big thing is make sure you follow through, you follow up. You check and make sure that all of these orders, especially the ones that have been scheduled, are going out on time, and you are checking and you're following through. You are going back to the kitchen again to make sure, hey, I know I've told you 6 times already, but I'm gonna tell you a 7th time just to make sure this order needs to go out at noon, so it needs to go in at 11:55 or something. If it's a carryout or phone order, it needs to go in about 5-6 minutes beforehand. Just let the kitchen know, hey, I'm reminding you again, make sure the food goes out, because they're focused on about 6,000 other things, trying to make sure all of the food goes out. They have a lot of stress, they have a lot of high tension back there. They're trying to get all the food out. They just need a gentle hand to remind them, hey, by the way, just a reminder, order coming out at noon, 6 pizzas, all of that information.